And we're back. No, I listened to my last recording to give me some motivation, and I listened to me talk about how I don't do this shit enough, which continues to hold true into this one, but fuck it, we're here. So, I need to start making lists. I already talked about all this organization crap last time, but I need to make lists of shit that I think of that I want to talk about so I can remember it all. But this time I want to talk about like family, but mainly just because what goes on in your family life, especially as you're growing up, is a lot of what shapes you, or at least the you that gets thrown into this world and starts to create themselves as a person. But it makes me think a lot of the soft white underbelly. And this guy, I said his name before, I can't remember it, but he's got the blonde hair and always wears the white t-shirts. He seems pretty smart and pretty nice. But I watched a video of him walking around Skid Row and talking about how the government tries to show that we're fixing our homeless problem with just homeless shelters and free housing. But it goes a lot further than that, like into I need some water. Into drug addiction, and then beneath that it goes into a lot of mental health issues. And then he said at the end of the day, it just comes down to how much their self worth is. But so pretty much what I'm saying is as he said, a lot of your childhood shapes you. And I can't remember, but this one guy on Joe Rogan, he must have been like some type of psychiatrist. It's not Jordan Peterson. But he was talking about like ADHD children and how it's more of like developed traits, because the kid's in the house, he's growing up, parents are yelling, so he has to get away from them, but parents won't let him go outside. So he can't get away to go outside, so he's stuck inside, so he goes inside his own head, he disassociates. I think that was leaning more towards like ADD or maybe some type of anxiety. I can't remember. Maybe it was ADHD. I was watching it because I was thinking like, I'm pretty sure I got ADHD. But anyway, yeah, but he was talking about just kids stuck in that situation. He starts to deal with it by disassociating, just daydreaming all day, picturing himself other places, and it develops a trait in him, and that just continues on into his life, and now he's, ADHD or some shit. But either way, that the way you're raised is really, it's the way you're raised. I know that should be common knowledge and shit. It sounds almost stupid whenever you say it out loud, but it's not. Because, I don't think a lot of people think and, like, look back on their childhood and wonder, like, I wonder what could have made me like this. I know I don't think about it a lot. My childhood, I just kind of, like, laugh at it. Mine was pretty good, it was solid. Whoa, speaking of childhood, my mom called me, and as soon as she did, then my phone died. But we're back. But anyway, well, yeah, I just kind of, like, laugh at my childhood, but, like, that's just, like, I just, like, make jokes out of, like, the not-so-fantastic parts, because it's just, like, that's what you gotta do, bro. I'm kidding, Like, it is, like, really important, and it's really good to take that shit seriously, and, especially if you can find people to talk about it with. Maybe like just by chance you and your friends have like been dealing with the same kind of situations. Boom, perfect people to talk to. And like, of course, you have to put yourself out there and find out about it, and you have to hope the other person does as well. But you know, at the end of the day, it's worth it to get a little bit of stress out. But my childhood was alright. As you see, my mother called. I'm still in my fucking childhood. No, I'm not. Fuck that. Kind of, but yeah, kinda, yeah. Yeah, I am. But yeah, it was pretty good. You know, see, my mom just called. She's a very nice lady. Sanka had like incredibly nuts shit happen, and like incredibly terrible shit happen. Just like, I feel like it's the average life, you know? Like, because everyone thinks that like the average family is like, oh, woohoo, let's go out for drinks with our friends. Come we'll be back, kids. Take care of the dogs. And then they're like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But just like some average fucking just rich parent shit. Or well put off. But I don't think that's what the average family is. And I don't even know what average is, bro. Because like there's a lot of different families and a lot of fucking people. But I know what my average has been that I've seen is just like a general amount of divorced parents that are like still in touch, but like also pretty weird and like still children in the head. Not completely, but a lot of them, yeah. And not completely, because it doesn't matter how you act. 30-something, 40-something years is gonna adult you, you know? But it's just still people that just, you know, you're allowed to act like a kid, but you can't act like a kid towards your kid. There's a time and a place and a person and a where and a when. There's all this, you know? And so there's just a lot of parents that, I don't know, too friendly with their kids. And I'm not saying to not be friendly with your kid, but your kid's not your friend, it's your kid. And you love your kid, you take care of your kid, but your kid's not your friend. You don't, I mean, I don't have a kid, but, so I don't really, you know, but, anyway. But, and so I don't know what kind of kid that creates, though, when you have the parent friend. And some of them have it like a little, it's more of like just a really nice, lenient parent. But like some of them are fucking weird, you know? Like my dad is kind of weird. He's cool. He's alright, but he's kind of weird. So, I don't know what kind of kid I am. Or what kind of kids any other children are that are also got just like some weird parents and shit. And my mom's cool too. She's nice. She's just real protective. She's a great lady. Overprotective though, but that's a mom. But yeah, I don't know what kind of kid that creates. I haven't done my research in life, but I believe everybody's got a different. It's kind of overall the same, but everybody's got their own little stories and adventures and different crazy shit that they have to talk about, different wild stories. Some people have a lot more than others. and some have less, and that's okay. Because, it's crazy shit, You probably got more wholesome stories if you ain't got more crazy shit stories. Or more like, I don't know. I don't want to talk too much because I don't have any fact here. But what I'm saying, I do have the fact of, or, I'm going to call it a fact because it only makes sense. But that all of your childhood is what is shaping you, the you to be thrown into this world, So I think it's important to look back at how you were raised and what went on in your life to understand who you are today and how you want to shape yourself and what you want to change, and to understand shit about yourself that you may not even realize is there. I think it's all very important to look back on. Because that's where you come from, man. That's your roots. Your family is what you are. So all of that shit is one of the biggest parts of who you are today. So think about that shit. Try to remember it, because I think a lot of people either try to block out their past, and it could be because it was traumatic or, not sweet to them. But still, I'm sure there's moments where you had your own experience of fun, or your own decisions during hard times that you found yourself being courageous, or brave, or just anything, man. Or even in the hardest of times, understanding why you might be afraid of certain things in the world. But overall, just looking back on yourself, it'll give you more insight about who you are, and you'll learn about a lot of the reasons that of why you behave the way you do today. And I need to practice that shit more too. Fuck it, I ain't telling nobody to do shit, but I believe that, like, and I'm not saying I haven't really tried, but no, I'm saying I haven't really tried, I guess, because if I haven't gotten anywhere, then I haven't tried hard enough. But all I'm saying is, me, along with all of y'all, I think it's a fantastic idea for us to look in ourselves and try to understand more about who we are. Understand why this is such a big thing for me. Why a podcast like this is my passion. There's got to be something in my childhood that made me steer this direction, steer towards, well, I can think of one thing, but there's got to be more about who I am, that this is the route I chose. And I'm sure I can understand a lot more of it looking back on my childhood. So to that I say, y'all sit on it, on the thought, not on, just, but y'all sit on that thought, and just think about your childhood, look back on your thoughts and your memories, cause bro, think about that shit. That's I was about to dip out on y'all. Hold on. That's something I think about all the time. Is like, you ever be talking about something and forget about it, or that one's a big example. But if you sit there quietly, no distractions, and you search your brain and you just ponder on it, and you think and you think and you think, and you just fucking sit that shit out, and you keep trying, like, you're gonna remember that shit, bro. I've done it, and like, the more you think about it not happening, the more it's not gonna happen. But the more you just sit there and fucking focus and you think about it, and you just sit there. Man, it might take like 10 seconds. It might take like 2 minutes. If it's taking like 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe like fucking forget about it if it's not that important. But unless you really, really want to talk about it, then you sit there for as long as you freaking want. And bro, I promise it'll come back to you. It doesn't matter. Because you were there. You thought it. Your brain was like, yep. Just thought about that a few seconds ago. There it was. It'll click, bro. It's crazy as shit. It's awesome. But same with like your childhood and your life. If you just sit there and you think about it, you were there. Your brain, your eyes, your memory, your nose, you remember the smells, the touch, the feel of things, your senses, your back was tingling or something maybe. But either way, your brain recalls that. Your brain was there. It holds the memory. It experienced it and it locks it away somewhere. And you were there, and your same body, your knees, your toes, your skin, all of you experienced that. You were there. So you can recall that. And it might take a long fucking time, but as you sit and through meditation and just, and I know that word might scare some people because they're like, how do I do that? Just fucking sit and think and ask yourself some questions. That's all you got to do, man. And you'll just leave yourself there. And just sit in your mind and go back. Just start asking yourself questions. Start trying to think of just shit. And it's all coming from the same place, man. The same thing that experienced it years ago is all coming from you. You've been there. It'll come back. It's the coolest shit. But I encourage everybody to just sit and try and remember their life and sit and just meditate on it. Try to just think, ask questions. It's all coming from the same thing. So any question you're asking is coming from you, and you were in that situation, and you came from that situation. So all of it is connected. All of it is within yourself, and it'll all come full circle as you build the thought, as you feel. You're just getting on like a train of thought. You're moving forward, and then you remember some shit, and then you get just sit down, try to think, try to remember a lot about yourself and who you are, where you came from. Think about why you act the way you act, what created some certain personality traits in yourself, what caused you to be the person you are today. Sit on that. But for real, y'all, I love you. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be doing, man, I just gotta start doing it more. I enjoy it. I enjoy sitting here and rambling. I don't give a fuck, and I like it. I love y'all. I hope to gather a wonderful, beautiful audience who I may be able to see one day. And cherish. But you'll have a kick-ass motherfucking day. Think about your life. Ask yourself some questions. And have a great time. I love you guys. Peace out.